fizemos aquilo que o nosso país deveria ter feito.
Mas ainda está a haver muitas mortes ainda. Agora não tenho...
São quase 2.000 mortes todo dia.
É muito.
Num país grande como o Brasil, isso passa desapercebido para a maioria da população.
Está a haver muitas mortes ainda. Agora não tenho...
São quase 2.000 mortes todo dia.
É muito.
Num país grande como o Brasil, isso passa desapercebido para a maioria da população.
Está a haver muitas mortes ainda. Agora não tenho...
Desculpa, acho que eu perdi o áudio. Só um instante.
É muito.
Num país, consegue me ouvir bem, Filipa?
Sim, consigo, mas eu não sei se isto está a acontecer, mas eu estou a ouvir a minha voz e há um delay enorme.
Desculpa, acho que eu perdi o áudio. Só um instante. Eu estou ouvindo a sua voz, mas parece que eu estou tendo um eco.
Pois, eu também.
Tem um microfone que estava ligado, eu estava dando eco da minha voz. Na verdade, é esse microfone ligado que estava com delay, não o nosso. A nossa comunicação parece que está boa.
Ok. Vou continuar a falar para testar.
Se tiver ligado na do microfone, eu não tenho.
Ok. Vou falar outra vez só para perceber se não estou, se não se vai ouvir o eco. Acho que não.
Não, eu estou te ouvindo muito bem.
Ok.
Eu vou só avisar-vos que já estamos em transmissão para o YouTube.
Ok.
Ok? Hello, Monica. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. We're just waiting for 2 minutes to wait for everyone to join. Hello, everyone. Before starting, just let me inform you that the event is being recorded and streamed live in YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to the Blue Bioeconomy Wave. In the next hour, we'll be exploring the potential for cooperation towards the sustainable use of the Atlantic Ocean. This event is organized in the context of the Blue Bio Value, the first international business program entirely dedicated to the blue bioeconomy, which is promoted by the Oceano Azul Foundation, the Carlos Gulbenkian Foundation, in partnership with the Blue Bio Alliance. So we all believe that the blue bioeconomy is absolutely fundamental to boost the transition to a sustainable growth model, as it is a powerful tool to decarbonize multiple industries, decrease energy and resources use, and as holds also a great potential to add economic value and jobs to multiple value chains. But for that, it is fundamental to understand how to effectively capitalize advances in life science and marine biotechnologies to create market-appealing products. So we need innovation driven to reap the potential of blue bioeconomy in our market economies. So it is exactly at this point we need to look at cooperation as the necessary tool to bridge the gap between scientific knowledge, technological innovations, and market opportunities. In the Blue Bio Value, we help academics and entrepreneurs to develop or enhance marine bio-based solutions from a business perspective. The program supports two types of participants. First, existing or emerging companies or startups that need to improve their business model and growth strategy and attract more investors. This component of the program is called Acceleration, and we already opened applications for the 4th edition. And we also target academics who want to develop marine science ideas that can be worked from an economic point of view, and to ideally create a company in the future. This component of the program is called Ideation, and this year we will have 2 big ideation sessions, one in Lisbon and one in Oporto. So today we'll be talking about how cooperation between research and industry is so important to promote a bioeconomy growth model. And we also talk about the importance of this for our market economies and for our planet, with a focus, of course, on the Atlantic Ocean. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it. We'll now pass a short video to showcase the Blue Bio Values startup success stories in the last 3 years. Thank you very much.
biotechnology is going to be key in probably the biggest civilizational achievement of the incoming generations, which is to decouple natural resources from raw materials.
Ocean-based technology can represent a huge opportunity for Europe because from that we can find decarbonization solutions and also solutions that enable us to consume fewer of the planet's natural resources.
Well, I'm a scientist, so I don't know much about business. That's why I'm here, to follow the bootcamp and learn something about doing business.
So, being in a group of great entrepreneurs and working together and hearing of improvements of others and how they are developing and what else we can do actually with our technology based on their experience, it was a big learning for us.
We're talking about, what is beyond aquaculture. Aquaculture, it's boring. Even if you have a very interesting concept, it's not what you want to sell. What you want to sell is, I'm going to feed the world.
BioValue was a game changer for Scientia. By winning it brought us some credibility and a lot of exposure.
Nos ha ayudado mucho a mejorar nuestro modelo de negocio, afinarlo y por supuesto lo que es la parte de la presentación, ahí el avance ha sido tremendo.
And it was incredibly professionally curated, with all the tools, and it just seemed as though each new lesson came at the perfect time for us to move forward.
Firstly, we actually have set up our company, made Portugal our home, and during lockdown we've actually been able to reduce the cost of our key component by 75%.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the 7th bootcamp of Blue BioValue Acceleration Program. This need for being very quick. Instead of slowing processes down, COVID is really pushing us to be quicker, right?
Hello everyone, welcome to the final pitch day of the 3rd edition of the Blue BioValue Acceleration Program.
There is a need to change. I think that everyone now understands that we will have to change. We have to change our economies, we have to change our societies, we have to change our way of living, and we have to do that in a very short term.
Programs such as the Blue BioValue are extremely important because they bridge the gap between scientific knowledge, technological innovation, and market opportunities.
I hope you felt inspired by such great stories and achievements. We'll now have a video message from the Portuguese Minister of Science, Technology and Higher Education, Manuel Heitor, who will bring us the public sector perspective within an R&D cooperation context.
Society at large and our economic and human activity in planet Earth and what is happening in the ocean has become, for decades, but more than ever, a key priority. If you look at the World Development Report 2020, just published a few months ago, which call our attention for a new geological area which is emerging, the Anthropocene, it shows then that the position of plastics on the depth of the ocean has become one of the most critical issues associated with climate change. And we need to take care of it. There is no more time to try to forget this. Certainly, there are other issues over the relations between the ocean and society, and the food value chain is one of them. Definitely also needs to be taken care, particularly associated with new pathways for the development of offshore aquaculture, if it is done in a clean way. Overall, the oceans has become a critical element on our sustainable development and, again, our common future. We are talking about future generations, and we are talking about increasing the quality of our life, of the life of the sons of our sons, the grandsons of our grandsons. And therefore, what we know, actually, if we look at the last OECD report on the sustainability of the blue economy, it calls for three major issues. First, new knowledge. We don't know how to do it, and we need to do more research how to make it happen in terms of transdisciplinary knowledge to better understand the relations between the oceans and climate science, but also how can we increase the sustainability of the oceans and clean waters overall. Second, we know that the current institutional setup it is not enough, and therefore we appeal for institutional innovation across institutions, across the disciplines. And we need definitely to look at new ways to collaborate between public and private sector, between research and academic institutions, and all of them in a collective action. And this is a challenge per se. Last but not least, we know that we need more observation methods and definitely to use the opportunities of the digitalization of our society to sensing all. Sensing all with in situ sensors, we need to know more, but also we need to know from the atmosphere to the ocean, and definitely to sensors on the atmosphere, 300 to 800 kilometers, making use of satellites. And this is a new area of particular interest from a scientific and technological point of view, which can only be done if we better understand how to control and how to use large quantifications of data. The definition of big data, in particular articulation with the developments of processes of artificial intelligence and overall the massification of machine learning, will allow us to do more and better and to build trust to the current societies. And again, the food value chain, as I started with fish and fish production, particularly in a country like Portugal, which is one of the world's largest fish consumers, needs to be done in a more sustainable way, certainly looking at clean ways of producing offshore aquaculture, which again needs new insights from biosciences to robotics and above all to the full food value chain. So I thank you all of those organizing this meeting, and again, it is central to the Portuguese presidency of the European Union, which has been centered in 5 attributes, being more digital, more green, but also more resilient in terms of the strategic autonomy of Europe, but always being social, because we cannot leave no one behind, and again, being global. Within this attribute, among many issues, I should recognize that within our Atlantic positioning, we have stressed more and more the key strategic value of south-north, north-south, west-east, east-west cooperation in the Atlantic to make the Atlantic a really living lab for new exploration, but also for new ideas, and that therefore we have created the Atlantic International Research Center together with Spain, institutions in the United Kingdom, in the United States, in Brazil, in Nigeria, in South Africa, to step by step building a real platform for innovation and for job creation, when we look more and more at the interactions between the oceans, climate science from a space-driven perspective. Again, I thank you for your mobilization in terms of sea-to-society linkage and interactions. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, the minister is not here, but I would like to thank you anyway for such an important speech and touching in the problems we have been working so hard in the last years with the Blue Bio Value and all our partners, such as the reducing plastic production and trying to increase the sustainability of our food chains, which is a major sector in our economy. And also the important interactions between the ocean and the climate crisis, and of course all the societal problems, because there is important and very important links between our well-being, our economic growth, and our environmental sustainability. And we have found and we know that there's a lot of solutions in the ocean. So it was a very, very good speech, and I thank him for that. So we'll now start the panel, where we'll be discussing how the international cooperation to enhance entrepreneurship has been vital to scaling up startups operating in the Atlantic. And we're also going to discuss what are the remaining challenges to unlock the potential in transferring marine R&D knowledge to foster innovation and the creation of successful ventures. So we have with us a panel with 4 distinguished guests: Gonçalo Costa from the Blue Bio Alliance, the Portuguese Association of Blue Bio Resources, and the Blue Bio Alliance is also the scientific coordinating of the Blue Bio Value Program. And then we'll have 3 founders of companies that have participated in the last year's program: Guilherme Queiroz from Biosolvent, Monica Tomeca from EU Fractionated, and João Rito from Scientia. We'll have the opportunity to hear from them because they will give us a small pitch about their business. So I will not present them now, and I will start with Gonçalo. Gonçalo, the Blue Bio Alliance has a key role in connecting stakeholders on a national and international level. Can you explain us a bit better how it works? What are the main activities and achievements of the Blue Bio Alliance?
Hi, good afternoon to you all. Thank you, Felipe, for the invitation. And allow me to talk a little bit more about BBA. So BBA is the national voice for the blue bio sector in Portugal. We work very hardly promoting the development of blue bio resources and their sector, aiming for value creation for Portugal. We currently have 100+ associates, including all subsectors of the marine bioresources value chain in Portugal and from other countries. We also organize this value chain to foster its relation in dynamics. So for us, the thematics, the collaborative operations are very close to our heart. And we work leveraging the SMEs in Portugal, their growth, promoting their internationalization, because they are key to this sector development. Of course, we also interact at national governmental level for policy briefs and guidelines, at Central European level for science funding opportunities, while operating also at global level to promote and internationalize the Portuguese marine bioresources and the blue biotech sector. In the Blue Bio Value, we are the technical support. We are part of the team that selects and fosters these companies, and also in the final pitch, selecting the best ones, but we'll go there in a while.
Thank you very much, Gonçalo. You refer the Blue Bio Value, and you have a very important role in this program. And one specific and added value of the program is the BlueDemo Network, which is a powerful resource for all biotech companies because you represent the entire value chain, and it has been widely used by participants of the Blue Bio Value. Can you brief us about that?
Well, we had the notion that Portugal has top-notch infrastructure and very highly skilled human resources in the blue sector arena, and that SMEs, mainly startups that are very that incorporated very shortly before the program, need to validate and demonstrate their concepts while using the smallest investment possible to do it. So we created the BlueDemo Network. This is our way to promote and make accessible to startups a set of Portuguese infrastructures and services that are focused on the blue bioeconomy. This works in a collaborative way, combining the public and the private sector, of course. And we currently have more than 100 services that are made available by several partners, and that go from, having your IP validated and protected to scaling up your process. So everything that you need to validate your technology or to demonstrate your concept, you have it on one access point only. We will deal all the partners for you. We'll curate the best services for you. Well, all the BBV winners end up to use it because the BBV award is money, but it's smart money. So it's money that you can use in this network, allowing all these startups that won the BBV to demonstrate their concepts in several ways. And we have several ones here that have used this BlueDemo Network.
Yes, and we will have the opportunity to listen from them too in that point. Thank you very much. The last point, Gonçalo, because you are one of the best specialists in this area in Portugal and abroad. In your opinion, what are the main challenge and also growth opportunities for the blue bioeconomy and blue biotech companies in the Atlantic, of course, in terms of economic growth, for example, and protecting the planets?
Well, thank you for the comments. But as you said, well, the world needs a new economic model that is capable to, in one hand, to separate the economic growth curve from the use of resources and that normally have a degradative curve, and on the other hand, to make solutions that are less harmful to the environment and that are economically viable. We need to have solutions that are economically viable so to people to use. So when we think about the bioeconomy, we really realize that it's essential in this response. It's not the only one, but is an essential factor to answer this, because it simultaneously promotes ocean conservation and the generation of a well-based sustainable solutions from these resources, these blue resources. And this will have the opportunity to create new jobs, new opportunities, both individual and for collaboration. Of course, this has huge challenges and bottlenecks. When we think about marine biota, one of the main challenges is the scalability. We have a lot of processes that have been implemented for terrestrial biota, but not for marine biota. So this is something that there will be a lot of opportunities for companies and also for academia. The availability and the characterization of the biomass, it's also that we need to have in place if we need to have blue biomass available enough to create profitable process. And these bottlenecks and these challenges will create large opportunities for companies, but we have to couple these opportunities with the talent in the academia and the drive of the corporates. If we don't use the entire value chain from the bioprospection to the startups that are creating new products and service, and the corporates that will be the end users, if we don't integrate all of them in the problem looking in and curating the innovation that is done, we won't do it in the time manner that we need.
Okay. Thank you very much, Gonçalo. We believe we have time to come back to you again. We will now pass the word to our entrepreneurs that will showcase practical examples of how success ventures highly depends on international cooperation, and which has allowed products and services to be developed, tested, improved, and marketed in different geographies and perspectives too. So I will start with Guilherme Queiroz from Biosolvent. Guilherme, can you give us a 1 to 2 minute pitch maximum about Biosolvent for everyone to understand what you are doing and what is Biosolvent?
Yes, of course. Firstly, thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to me being here. It's a great pleasure. So Biosolvent is a biotech company applied to new materials development. Basically, we recover discarded biomass to produce and to develop new products, and these products are committed to solve several environmental problems. Okay. The main product of our company is a natural absorber made from palm fiber discarded in many crops here in Brazil. Here we have an important industry that produces hardwood palm, and only 3% of a palm tree is used to produce the hardwood palm. The rest of 97% was discarded in the crop for our company. So now we recover this biomass and produce a natural absorber, which is the most efficient oil absorber in the world nowadays, used to remediate oil spill accidents, not only in the ocean, of course, but especially in the ocean. This is our company. Sorry, can you hear me? Did you hear me?
Yes, we were frozen for a little bit, but now I can hear again. Sorry. You were saying that not only in the ocean, but focus on the ocean, and then I lost you. We lost you.
But on soil too, but especially in the ocean.
Yes.
We know that accidents with petroleum are very, very important in the ocean, and our technology has a large use to remediate this kind of accident, you know.
Okay. Thank you very much, Guilherme. I'm sorry for the sound problems, but I believe that we can hear everyone understand your pitch. So Biosolvent, it's a biotech company that's sustainable, develops new products from renewable sources of raw material and discarded biomass, such as Guilherme say, natural absorbents used for onshore or offshore oil spills, and sustainable alternatives for soil fertilizer. I'm sorry, Guilherme, to repeat what you said, but the sound was not really good, and I want to ensure that everyone understands what Biosolvent is. to understand the rest of the discussion too, and because it is very important and a very, very innovative solution. So my question now is, we know that Biosolvent is in the process of opening a branch in Portugal, and you come from Brazil, in Biocamp part, and we'll also use the BlueDemo Network that Gonçalo explained. So can you explain us a bit better these achievements and how you will be using our voucher in the BlueDemo Network?
Yes, of course. We've been opening a new operation in Portugal to make some researchers there, and the connections through the BlueDemo Valley were very important for us, because now we know what we can do with the price. It's very important for us because, like you said, it's a smart money, and we can use this money to improve our company, to improve our researchers, our research, and the most important, to connect our company to the Portugal ecosystem, blue economy ecosystem, because we will have the opportunity to not only to present our company, but also to improve our technology in cooperation with the researchers of Biocamp.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Guilherme, for sharing with us your achievements and experience. I hope we'll have time to go back to you again, but now let me pass to Monica from New Fraction 8. Monica, can you give us a 2-minute pitch maximum, please?
Absolutely. Again, thank you, for having me as well. I'm very happy to still be part, despite, finishing the project and finishing the program actually almost 2 years ago. It's great to still be part of this environment and being introduced to events like that. So just a few words about Fractionated. We are actually a biotech company based in UK, in Scotland. And we are developing novel filtration systems for biomass harvesting, especially for biomanufacturing market. So pretty much anybody who is using biological cells to grow them, to make the products, we can help them to harvest the biomass. We very strongly focus on the production of microalgae for several products, actually. So microalgae can be grown for feed for humans, such as superfood like spirulina. They can be grown for feeds for animals, for aquaculture. They can actually be grown for bioplastic, biofuels, and many other products. And despite what product will be made from microalgae, the biomass for that is produced in exactly the same way. People are growing microalgae in big vast of water, either in ponds or in bioreactors or photobioreactors. And all of those people have to harvest and dewater that biomass to be able to make the products out of it. And this is exactly the step where we are sitting with our technology. We are helping for the efficient harvesting of the biomass, which we can save quite a lot of energy as compared to the technologies which are there at the market at the moment. So participating, in the program with Portugal actually helped us a lot to develop the technology, but also to develop our business side, which I believe helped us hugely to land a big European project. We've just landed a 2 million European project, which we'll be developing this technology on. So yeah, thanks for having us, and we're very happy to, to get your support.
Thank you very much, Monica. And are you using the BBV awards? Are you using the BlueDemo Network in the near future, or already used? Can you also explain us a bit about that?
Definitely. So we saw the huge potential of using this prize to actually test our technology with Algae for Future. It's a Portuguese company which will help us to actually do demonstrations of our technology in comparison with the technologies which are used in the industry at the moment. So effectively what we will do side-by-side comparisons with like centrifuges and filters, which our potential normally, industry is using at the moment. We know that there are problems with these technologies, like standard technologies. We believe we can solve them, but all the proof of concept we've done so far, it's a pilot scale demonstrators. So we're actually going bigger with the tests actually coming to Portugal. So that's what's going to happen. I will just add, so we actually supposed to be doing that last year, but as probably everybody can predict, COVID actually stopped us from driving our instrument to Portugal. So unfortunately, we had to postpone the plan, the test and the plans for it. But this is still ongoing, and we're still getting ready for it. So all the plan is ready. Everything is ready. We're just waiting for the borders to open so we can actually drive through.
Very happy to hear that news. And yes, the COVID postponed everyone's life, so it's not anything new. So congratulations for those achievements, and you continue like the last pitch in the Blue Bio Valley in the final pitch day. You are a very strong pitch woman, so congratulations for that. And actually, you Fractionate, it's a very good example on how the biotech, our biotech solutions can be applied to such different industries. You talked about so many different industrial applications, and that is also the beauty of the blue bioeconomy and the blue biotech, because when people talk about blue biotech, usually we are talking about the ocean, of course, but the ocean can offer multiple economic and business solutions to a lot of industries. And that is a message that it is very important to us. Thank you very much for that, Monica. So now, João were one of the winners of the first edition back in 2018, our first edition. So we know that you have recently raised private investment and that you are setting a pilot unit outside Portugal. Can you give us more details about these achievements and how the BBV have helped you to achieve in 2008, have helped you to achieve what you have today?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Filipa. Again, thank you, everyone, for inviting me to share our experience here. Yes, so by that time we were a very, very young company, even younger than now. We barely had nothing done. So the program actually firstly introduced us to the business world, that we didn't know nothing about it, because again, I think the program is super useful especially for researchers, like me, myself, and my colleague. We are biologists, and we didn't study anything about business. So this actually introduced us to that kind of world, that kind of way of thinking, which is very much different from the academia where we were coming from. And then, okay, so it trained us a lot. We were looking to the business in another way. And then winning the program actually gave us a huge exposure to a lot of media, to a lot of also to internationally. Well, again, the prize that we were not expecting by the time, we were not told that we were going to get a prize, helped us, because we were again, we didn't have any funds with us. So it helped us to grow, to make our site. For the first time, we had a site with all the information, which is absolutely mandatory for any company. So it didn't have it, something so simple like that. Also creating some promotional material, and something probably even more important, which again, we didn't thought that in the beginning, which was legal consultancy and advisor from a lawyer company. And that helped us so much to talk with potential investors that we were dealing with, also creating new contracts, legal contracts, all these kind of things that are also very expensive to pay for. The program was super helpful in that time, in a very critical moment of our company, and pushed us not a little bit, but a lot to go further and survive for the next years, and actually be able to, again, like you just said, achieve this moment where we get the investment from private investors, and now we have our pilot project finally running.
Perfect. Very, very happy and proud to hear that. It was such a huge evolution since 2018. So congratulations for that. Gonçalo, I will be back to you now. I have two questions. we'll not open the discussion to the public, a verbal discussion, but we have a Q&A, and everyone is invited to include. This will be a dynamic discussion until the end. So I have already 2 questions for Gonçalo. The first one is, which type of marine biomass are you talking about?
Well, I think we can combine two, the two
Yes,
questions,
and the
right?
second one is biotech, an option to overcome biomass limitations. Yes.
Okay, so when we talk about marine biomass, we can talk about 2 kinds of biomass in my way. So we can talk the carbon sequestration ones, microalgae and macroalgae, and also cyanobacteria, and those are very useful for decarbonization of the economy, but they need to be scaled up. And you need microalgae has it needs infrastructure to be scaled up. Macroalgae you need infrastructure to farm them. So we have a bottleneck there, but it's been done and need to be done collaboratively. On other group are the bacteria that you can find every time that you put a cup on the ocean and you take water from it. We have a huge number of biobanks with these bacteria that have not yet been characterized or been identified the potential. And again, we know that most of the species in the oceans have not been characterized, and they can solve several problems since in the medical case, in pharmacy, new products, new molecules. There is a very nice company in Portugal, for example, that is developing painkillers based on molecules from sponges. So that these are what we call the clean one. But we have another set of marine biomass that needs to be tackled, which is the one that comes from side stream of traditional fisheries, traditional uses of marine biomasses, and these side stream have normally no value or go to fish powder or so on. And biotechnology here has the huge potential to take these side products and get them value again, reducing pollution and increasing jobs and profitability of these companies. And of course, biotech can, and it's the only one that can increase this biomass. If you look, for example, into microalgae, and we have now the ability to produce them, and as Monica was saying, to isolate them, to reduce the water content in a way that can be used. We would never be able to do that without biotechnology use and cooperative projects.
Thank you very much, Gonçalo. Okay, we have been talking a lot about the added value of cooperation, international cooperation, and the Blue Bio Value and the BlueDemo Network. I would like to make a round on the 3 entrepreneurs that are with us and to ask you about, when thinking about advancing innovation and growth in a market with a bio-based, with a startup, what are the main challenge for you? Are we talking about regulation, financing, raising investment? So I will start with Guilherme. I will make the same order, and to wrap up some of the most pressing challenge for you in when trying to scale up your company and start.
Perfect. Okay. I just try again to present our company because I lost my connection. Okay. Very, very fast. We are a biotech company, and we create new materials from renewable sources of raw materials, such as vegetable fibers discarded in many crops here in Brazil. Our main product is a natural absorber, which is considered as the most efficient oil absorber in the world nowadays. And this product is used to remediate oil spill accidents, not only in the ocean, but also on soil. Okay. And answering your question, I think that our main challenge is to make our products viable and to connect to our clients around the world. Viable not only in terms of viability, but also in terms of economic viability. We in Biosolvent, we do not believe in sustainable products that cost more. We believe that the technologies that actually change the world are necessarily simpler and cheaper. And we believe that a sustainable world is one of the companies, which companies feel comfortable acquiring clean technologies, you know. And this is the reason, because we wake up every day. We want to make our products available all over the world. And most important, we believe that we have a mission to change the way how our clients see, after all, the Brazilian product, because we were born to be a world-class company, and this is our main challenge nowadays.
Thank you very much, Guillermo. I also believe that sustainability should not cost more, and it's not a burden. And if you read the Larry Fink's words in his 2021 CEO letter, when he states that investors in mutual funds, if I'm not wrong, invested 288 billion globally in sustainable assets, which represents a 96 increase over the whole of 2019, and this is amazing. So actually, sustainability is a huge economic and investment opportunity. So I agree with you, and thank you very much, Monica. And for you, what are your, in your opinion, the most pressing challenge?
Definitely. So I will start from answering this question from a very broad picture. So I think we are still relatively early in the whole bioeconomy revolution. There is still, as you said, there is a lot of money being invested in the early stage companies. There is a lot being done. But there is a lot of processes out there still, which techno-economics of them doesn't really match up. And I believe that this was also the reason for us to starting the company and taking our technology towards that, enabling this bioeconomy revolution. There are several European reports which are stating that the way how we are doing the bioeconomy and biomanufacturing at the moment is not there yet. There are still new technologies like needed to be created to actually enable it to happen more efficiently. And I think one of the good examples to say that is actually where we're putting those money and how we balancing the techno-economics. On the microalgae field, there was a big boom, I would say 5 to 10 years, probably 10 years ago now, where a lot of people were growing microalgae for biofuels. The techno-economics of this production didn't really match up. We were producing bulk volumes of low value products, and that basically closed this industry or killed this industry. So now we're rethinking the way how we could actually make it more green, more sustainable, and as you guys already mentioned, also profitable at the price match to the similar technologies which are there, and they have different sources for building them. And this is, for example, why microalgae field and growing microalgae for products shifted slightly towards higher value products, such as food, such as feed. We are coming back slowly to the biofuels, but we're actually moving to jet fuels, which has higher value for those. So yeah, definitely understanding techno-economics of bioproduction is something needed to be done. On the small startup level, so thinking very much from our company point of view, obviously finances is always an issue as well. We are a hardware company. We are an engineering company of 4 people who is building instruments which are half a ton in weight. And obviously they are quite capital intensive to create. To be able to innovate and change or improve our technology, we need to build new iterations of our systems, which requires quite a lot of capital to be put into that. So obviously the financial issues are always, there. There is a lot of support by the organizations like yourselves. There is a lot of support from European Commission through the funds created by them. There are obviously a route of investments into the company to get it grow. So if I can use the chance that I actually have the voice now, we are currently raising the round So if there are any investors in the round, I'll be happy to talk to them. But I guess that's something which we're always chasing. As a small company, you always chase to build the product, but to be able to build the product, you need the funding to do that. So yeah, that would be my biggest challenge at the moment.
Good. Thank you, Monica. It's good that you use the voice to raise investment. That is important too. Before passing to João, I have a question, a very quick question to Guilherme, just not to lose the point. From the audience, Guilherme, have you compared your product to traditional products? For example, dispersants, Corexit, in terms of sustainability, effectiveness, toxicity, and so on? Is your product licensed in IBAMA?
Yes, of course. We have this comparison. Our product was tested by CEDRI Institute of France, the most important institute for this kind of tests in the world. And our product was considered not only the most efficient, but the faster. And as I said, our product is cheaper than the other. So we can provide a natural product that's more efficient and that costs that have a small cost in comparison to the others. And there's an important point about this. Our technology is the only one that allows the reuse of spilled oil. So we can recover the oil from the sea or land, for example, from the sea, and we can put this oil again to refine. And this is the most important characteristic about our product, okay? Thank you.
Perfect, thank you very much. João, I'll pass now the word to you about the challenges.
Thank you, Filipa. Yes, well, challenges. Challenges are the constant since we start a company, since we start a company that has nothing yet. So we survived for 3 years without having absolutely nothing physical. We only had studies, we only had ideas, we only had a team, very highly motivated, and it was super difficult to survive. Again, I completely agree with Monica. Well, until a certain moment, we really need funds. We need anyways of any kind of funds because, well, to survive for 3 years without a salary, without anything, because as soon as you start a company, as soon as you have to pay taxes as well, so it's all super difficult to deal with, and I think that there are very strong bottlenecks, especially when you hadn't proved anything physically. And that was exactly what was happening to us. We had a lot of studies, we had a lot of theory, but practically speaking, we had nothing. And okay, there were a lot of potentially interested investors, but well, everyone said the same. Well, until you have fish in the water, it's going to be tough to get money. Well, luckily enough, we did it anyway. And to me, well, again, also this is it has to be contextualized in our case because we are a fish producer. We want to produce fish through aquaculture in a sustainable way, and this is super important because, again, also picking on the conversation before, it is, in my opinion, I think it is super wrong. The normal way of thinking of seeing business nowadays is still people still see sustainable businesses like not being as profitable as the others, which, as in a long-term vision, I think it's completely wrong, honestly. Well, if you don't have a long-term vision right now, then, well, there's no way, there's no point of doing any kind of business, in my opinion. And in our case, again, taking that into account, that we want to do it sustainably, it's again more difficult because technology is super challenging. Technology is super expensive. But in our opinion, it would be the only way of going forward. We never quit. We never changed the way of looking of operating because, well, we could easily say, okay, let's do something cheaper and faster. Again, it wouldn't work in the long term. and that costs money. That costs a lot of money, and also is super challenging to understand how to deal with new technology. You have to train a team. Things take time, but that's the only way of actually growing. It's a gradual and slow growth until we reach the moment that all the business and industrial activities are getting the sustainable, and we reach the highest sustainability possible, so that we can survive in this world. Actually, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, and yes or no question. Like you have all different business models, and but we are talking about the same sector, and this represents both the diversity of the sector and the many opportunities the ocean offers to society. Both in economic and environmental terms. Do you believe that even with all those challenges, the world is ready for what you have to do to offer?
In my case, I do believe so. Yes, because in the end, we're producing fish. We're producing an healthy food for human population, and right now there's a huge deficit on that. So people are actually looking for more food because human population is growing super fast. So I do believe yes.
Monica and Guillermo. I believe that the answer is yes, because you have all very good achievements.
I think
of course.
Sorry, Guillermo, keep going.
Sorry, please.
I think obviously the answer is yes. I mean, like, this stuff has to happen, and it has to happen soon. I think we've seen that a lot with the pull from the market. So whenever we are talking about bringing this new technology, we are still in development of it. We are still in the creation. We actually have a lot of people coming to us, asking, so is it ready already? Can we try it already? When are you able to bring it? And I think that shows that, people are more than ready. They just need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with Monica and João. And furthermore, I believe that that we need to not only to present our technology, but make, as I said, these technologies viable to be not only accepted but also adopted in our clients. I think this is the most important.
Good. I have. Okay. So yeah, we have 1 minute left, so we don't have much more time. I thank you very much for your participation. We talked about a lot of good achievements and good stories, a lot of some challenges. Of course, every entrepreneur lives with many challenges, and I have to congratulate you for your good leadership and your courage, because that is what it takes to have that paradigm shift that we all need to start seeing sustainability as a viable option, to start investing more in technology that are still in maturity, in infants in terms of maturity, and we need to be more risk averse, like taking João's last comment that you didn't have nothing, and that seed money from investors such as foundations, such as the Oceano Azul Foundation and the Carlos Gulbenkian Foundation, it's not typical, it's not very much typical yet, and actually need to be more risk averse on that, because those will be the viable business in the future. So I don't want to take more of your time. It's already 7. We are on time to finish. I thank everyone that is listened to us, and thank you very much, Gonçalo, Monica, João, and Guillermo. Good luck for your to continue your journey. We bet on you, and we will continue. We are still here. We'll be still here for you, the both foundations and the Blue Bio Alliance, of course. So thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.